Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today we are following up with one of my other videos that I made last week. I don't know which side it is. If you haven't already, I would recommend you go ahead and watch that video as well. We're just jumping into it today, so please go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel before you forget. Here are a few things that my husband does not let me do. If you've been in a relationship, you know there's kind of some rules that you guys have for each other, whether or not they're spoken. There's expectations with every relationship. Most people don't let their significant others go on a year-long cruise without talking to them first. So I was going to go ahead and share mine since some of them might be interesting. If you have any questions about any of them, feel free to comment below and I will probably answer your comment. And without further ado, let's get into it. Number one, Ethan does not let me give him the silent treatment. Let me, as in, we have kind of had this issue before where if we're upset, one of my go-to conflict resolutions is just kind of like, I'm gonna not talk to you for however many hours. And I feel like I kind of intrinsically expect him to break the silence. This is obviously kind of something we've learned being married for a year, is if you kind of have a conflict, it's good to be apart for a little bit and then just talk about it and be adults. But I feel like when I first got married, I was kind of like a little child and I just wanted to shut everybody out and just be cross by myself. And it's just good to kind of talk about conflicts, especially if it's not like a really, really big conflict. If it's just like you are both in a bad mood and you happen to get upset at each other, I feel like you can figure that out and not have to waste your entire day. Our time together now is a little bit limited, so we try to make that time count and to make every minute count basically towards each other and not to be cross. Number two, I am not allowed to make huge purchases by myself. I don't know, I feel like this is more of a girl thing, but it also applies to Ethan. Obviously if he was going to buy a car or something, he would tell me and we would talk about it, because it is kind of, I have my own paycheck every week, he has his own paycheck every week. However, I feel like everything we make together is considered ours. I don't think there's his money and my money. I think it is all ours. It's just figuring out how to communicate, which is the tricky part. Communicating about money is just always important, and highly recommend you do that, especially if you're married. I feel like where I get a little bit frustrated is if he doesn't save money where maybe I could have saved money. For example, maybe he bought a flight ticket and I'm thinking in my mind, okay, if I bought that ticket, I would have saved $50 or $100. So I have to also, on my part, just kind of not assume the worst. This actually happened to us a few weeks ago. I wanted to buy this table that I thought looked really nice from one of our friends, and it was going for a really good price, but Ethan didn't agree with me, and he thought maybe we didn't really need a table when we have a nice table. And I was upset about it at first, to be honest with you. I was really frustrated, it's not that expensive, I should be able to get it. But we kind of talked about it, and I think what I learned, it's kind of like a shared living space, and even if it's not an expensive table, changing something, you want to be considerate and ask the other person. And of course I would want him to do the same for me. I usually do make the purchases for household goods, so I feel like this is more of a female thing for our relationship. Number three, I've talked about this in my other video, but I do not sleep on the couch if I'm angry at Ethan. If we have an issue, we try to resolve it. And so I can say the only time I've ever spent the night on the couch was when I was very sick and I didn't want to wake him up all night. The reason we try to not send each other to the couch is we feel like it's better to just sort out conflicts before bed, and then you can sleep, obviously much better being in good terms with the other person. I'm sure some people may have this issue more than us, but yeah, we do not send each other to the couch as punishment. My husband does not let me post bathing suit pictures. If I did this before we were married, I would probably have a hard time not doing it after. When you're posting pictures online, you do have kind of that audience that is kind of following you just to see those pictures, and I think a lot more of your followers may be following you for that reason than you may think, especially if you're pretty regularly posting bikini pictures. I have in the past posted pictures like that. Now that I'm married, I obviously don't want to post pictures like that because I don't want to advertise myself as a single person when I'm not. In general, I just don't really like posting pictures where my stomach and cleavage and everything is showing, because modesty is something that I personally value. And so if I'm going to post a like bathing suit, like a beach photo, it'll be pretty good taste, and if I can find a picture to show you what I'm talking about, I will put it somewhere here. The reason that Ethan would not want me to be posting pictures may be pretty obvious, but he prefers that his wife is kind of for his own personal viewing and not being also viewed online. Number 5, Ethan does not let me hang out with guys by myself. I have guy friends, but I am never going to go out with them, just us. If we want to like hang out, obviously you can do that in group settings. This is very common for married couples. You just kind of hang out all together. I don't think there's a lot of places I go without Ethan, just because like we have the same friends and we kind of know the same people. I generally am not going to hang out with a guy one-on-one because, you know, that can just lead to some things that you may not be signing up for. And also so people are not putting you in judgment or anything. Number 6, Ethan does not let me keep in touch with my ex. He also doesn't keep in touch with his. So we just kind of agree that there's not really value keeping a relationship in which you are really intimate with another person when you are in a stage of life where you are committing 100% to one person. I do not think I would benefit at all, honestly, from being friends with my ex. I can say that I probably would be friends with him, and like obviously we would know each other well based on the past, but in the present I want to focus all my energy on my husband. And so just for the reasons of, again, staying out of that public eye of like, ooh, like that looks weird, but also I would like to show Ethan that I'm completely loyal to him and not have any reason for him to doubt me. I think this is number 7, but Ethan doesn't let me dress like a man. I'm gonna have to show a picture to show you what I'm talking about. I feel like this doesn't make a lot of sense unless I show a picture. But I am working in like a business job. Ethan basically told me that he would prefer if I dress feminine because he doesn't think it's cute when girls try to look like men. It kind of looks like a little like strange. No hate, people can do what they want, but Ethan said, oh, I prefer if you just dress like really feminine for work. And I'm like, okay, like it's not like I can't wear pants or anything like that, but I try to not wear like the suit jacket and the like button up with, you know, I try to look feminine just because I like to impress my husband, and you know, if there's something that I can do that's really easy for me and that I don't really care about that would make him happy, then of course I'm gonna do it. Number 8, Ethan does not let me be an Uber driver. I know for a fact he's not comfortable with me driving guys home. And I guess this is really specific, so I should explain the reason that this specifically is on this list is because there's a guy that I worked with that didn't have a car for a few months, and I was like, oh, if he pays me like $10, like I could just drive him home from work every day. And Ethan was like not on board. Like Ethan doesn't know this person. He wants to make sure I'm safe, first of all, and second of all, it just looks kind of weird, so he just prefers if I don't drive guys home, or again, just this is kind of branching off, just not like hanging out alone with guys, especially at night. It just kind of it leaves a little bit of a weird vibe. That's just what he prefers. This is number 9. Ethan does not let me do anything sexual by myself. If we are going to do sexual things, whether it's him or me, we do it together because we are married and we have a pretty high commitment to ourselves and to each other to be sexually pure. A big focus of my channel is sexual purity, and that basically covers anything you can think of, like porn, masturbation. I think a general all-around rule for married couples is you shouldn't do anything without the other couple's knowledge, and permission. I did create another video about my views on masturbation, and you may be interested in that, so I will definitely link that here, and let me know what your thoughts are on that video. Ethan also doesn't let me open my own door. I mean, I guess I could if I really wanted to, but he's always like very, very chivalrous, and he likes to open the door for me, and it's super sweet, and I really like it. In his mind, he thinks guys that let their girls go through the door in front of them, maybe it's just not like super manly. I am more than willing to let him open the door for me. Number 10, Ethan does not let me go a whole day without me knowing how much he loves me. I believe that we are here to meet each other's needs, and so if I want to be like an independent girl and act like I'm not married, I can. Honestly, I'm just thrilled at how healthy our relationship is, and if everyone else followed these rules, I feel like they would also have really healthy relationships, but that's just because it's been working for us. Thank you so much for watching this video out of all the videos on YouTube. Please like and subscribe to my channel once again, and let me know what you think in the comments. Bye!